Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another episode of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Patrick. Here for a fun, teaser-filled, trailer-tastic episode.
Yeah, it's a welcome to 2017 episode.
Yep.
We're going to look at some trailers for this year. There's a ton of movies coming out this year. We're going to do Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, and Kong, Skull Island. Yeah, the list of movies for next year, so far, I think these are kind of in order. It's Lego Batman, which is February, then Logan in March, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Alien Covenant, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man Homecoming, War for the Planet of the Apes, and then Blade Runner 2049, Ghost in the Shell, and then Kong. Oh, and then there's the Pacific Rim Uprising, Thor Ragnarok, Justice League Part 1, and then at the end of the year we'll have Episode 8. So it's a ton of movies this year.
They already have Episode 8 ready?
They're still working on it.
Wow.
But yeah, it should be coming out in December.
Star Wars out like crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a movie every year, so this year it'll be Episode 8, next year it'll be the Han Solo movie. Then the year after that should be Episode 9, and then probably after that it'll be a Boba Fett or Obi-Wan movie or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just going to concentrate on the three.
Yeah, and I sort of just picked three that I felt were like the more like obscure, less high-profile ones.
Yeah, and some of these movies have had the trailers out for a while. We just haven't done a trailer episode for a while, so yeah. Everyone's already covered the Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. But yeah, I think these will be interesting to talk about. So, if you want to jump into Blade Runner 2049.
Replicants are like any other machine. They're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
Yeah, and this one, I feel like it's more of a teaser than a trailer.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it up until we decided, which three we were going to do. So going into it, I didn't realize it was kind of more of a teaser, which kind of makes sense. Any more the first look is always pretty much just a tease, I guess. So.
And it was kind of cool. I assumed the voiceover by Harrison Ford was from a while ago.
I got that impression too. It's been it's been a couple years since I've seen Blade Runner, and it sounded like right. It sounded young, so I'm guessing that was just voiceover taken from the original Blade Runner.
And I know very little about the original, other than he is some sort of like enforcer of sorts or private eye. I'm not entirely sure, but it has to do with replicant human beings acting up, and he's got to deal with it.
Yeah, he's just kind of sent to track down and take care of any replicants that have gone, getting out of line, I guess. So, and there's so much more to the movie.
Yeah.
And we're actually covering Blade Runner as of this recording, it's like 2 movies away for us. So that'll be coming up, for us pretty soon. So I'll be interested to watch Blade Runner again after seeing this trailer, because I just don't remember a lot of what happens, and I was a very late comer to Blade Runner, and I'll be honest, I watched it and it didn't blow me away. I know a lot of people, it's like their favorite movie, and they hold it on this high pedestal of sci-fi, and it's kind of one of those movies I saw, and it was like, okay, I don't get necessarily all the hype. And I couldn't tell you which version of the movie I've watched. I don't know if it was the theatrical the director's cut, the final cut. I think that's the 3 versions. For this show, we will be doing the final cut, just because we put out a Twitter poll a while back, and that's what the listeners wanted us to do, as far as the majority.
Is Final Cut code for a 5-hour-long movie?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Usually when it's like director's cut, it adds a substantial amount of time to it. But, yeah, I mean, there was the line that I assume Gosling said, because the trailer's really dark.
Yeah.
Where he said the job got a lot tougher.
Right.
When Harrison said, I used to do what you do, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I from the trailer, I can't tell if Ryan Gosling's sort of hunting down Harrison Ford to, like, because they're like in this weird dark room, like looks like a bigger house or something.
Yeah. At first, it looked to me like almost like a Grand Central Station, Union Station kind of train depot, or like an old-fashioned kind of building like that. But then, like, there's a piano, so I didn't know if maybe it's like a hotel. But yeah, it's this weird architecture, and yeah. Right off the bat, though, when the trailer first started, it just felt I got a real Alien, like Alien the movie. Kind of like a horror vibe from it. And I know the original is not a horror movie. It's, suspenseful, but...
I guess it depends on how that one ended, maybe.
Yeah.
I almost got the vibe that things have gotten a lot worse since then.
Right.
Just because he said things have gotten harder.
Yeah.
And everything was friggin' dark and dirty.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I see this after I actually watch Blade Runner.
Sure.
Original.
Yeah, it's like, it occurred to me as I watched, and I'd watched the trailer a few times, it was like, with as unfamiliar as I am with the original, it's a hard sequel to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always thought of it as a cult kind of following for this movie, so...
Yeah.
I imagine it's going to be a older crowd.
Yeah, because I imagine if you are, like, say you're sitting down in a theater and you're watching this trailer, you don't know what it's for, when you see that shot of Harrison Ford and then the Blade Runner logo, like, I imagine if you're a fan of the originals, it'll be probably like a welcome, surprise. But if you have no idea what Blade Runner is, it'll just be confusing, and there's nothing there for a new viewer, I guess.
I sort of lump Blade Runner and Tron together.
Okay.
As far as sort of out of the mainstream, but still popular. But Blade Runner even less so than Tron.
Yeah, I could see, like, movies like that in Dune. Like, I've never seen Dune, but I know it's got a huge following, and it's... Seeing even a movie like that, I don't know if it's a good movie. I get the impression that it is, but... Yeah. But even with, like, Blade Runner, I'd always heard it's just one of the best, so...
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Like I said, it's a tough one to look forward to a sequel to a movie that I'm just lukewarm on. But I will say that watching the trailer for 2049 actually made me excited to revisit, the final cut for our show, just to see, will I enjoy it more? So I'm really looking forward to doing that episode and covering Blade Runner, just to, I don't know, just to see if I come away with it, with a different point of view, or take something, more away from it. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I've noticed something as we've gone on with the podcast, that the mood I'm in at the time I'm watching the movie really impacts how I view that movie.
Sure.
Like, if I'm jazzed and ready to watch this movie, like, I'm looking forward to it, I'm gonna give it a lot more leeway.
Sure.
And if I'm just like, oh, let's get this over with. Because then I'll just be mad and bitter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's why I'm tougher on movies that I don't know anything about.
And that makes sense. I mean, we've covered enough movies now that I know are a lot of which are first-time viewings for you, so it'd be hard to get excited necessarily about a movie that you haven't watched, or So.
I think Bond was the biggest test,
Sure.
just because of the volume,
Yeah.
and it was so much Bond. So I was just like, here we go again.
Yeah. Bond
So
and Apes right there at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, Apes is a different story. I mean,
Sure.
that was one good one followed by 2 cash grabs.
Yeah.
And at least Bond, you had some hits and misses in there.
Yeah.
But it kept you hoping that this was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just noticed that if I'm watching it, like, at a certain point of the day, it sort of changes how I view it too.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I'm a nighttime kind of movie watcher.
Sure.
Like, if I'm watching it during the day, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the mood during the day for a movie, and I'm trying to slog through it.
Right. It feels more like homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's, I can't really say I'm gonna go to the theater to see this, but maybe I'll change my mind when we actually watch the OG version.
Yeah, because maybe you'll get, super into it, or, I don't know. My only other, note on the 2049 trailer is that I guess older Harrison Ford looks better in this than he did as old Han Solo in Force Awakens. Like, in Force Awakens, he looked a little older than he does here. And maybe they've got, different makeup on him here. Maybe they've done some digital effects so that he's not as old, but he just looks younger in 2049 than we just saw him like a year ago in Force Awakens. So
It was just one little...
That's true. Yeah, it's just
dark,
one glimpse of him. Yeah.
I mean, when I saw him, I saw the Crystal Skull Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Like, that's what... And I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good. But yeah, it's still weird seeing him older.
Yeah.
It's like he was away for a while, so I just didn't realize that he aged, even though obviously he aged.
Right.
It really throws me off.
Yeah.
It's still hard to get used to, really.
Sure.
I mean, that, and even like with Princess Leia.
I was just about to say, we're like a week away or a week out from her passing, which just sucks,
Yeah, it was a rough year.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's because we're all getting older, so we have older childhood actors.
Well, I think it is part of that. Like, I don't know how to put it in words, but yeah, I think we're coming into that age where our childhood / young adulthood heroes or movie stars are starting to get older, and they are, slowly, unfortunately, they're starting to pass on.
Yeah. I don't want to get off into that tangent.
Yeah. Well, let's just, do you have any other notes on Blade Runner?
No, that's pretty much all I had.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much tapped on that. So kind of looking forward to it eventually. Like, I doubt I'll see it in theater unless covering the final cut on our show just really sparks this big interest, for me. It'll probably be one of those that I see down the road. So,
okay.
What's that?
Next up, we got
Ghost
another Shell.
Major. I'm on site. I'm going in.
Yeah, another, like, future, I don't know, cyberpunk, like...
Yeah.
It was interesting, like, seeing the cityscape and scenery.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting having both of these movies that kind of feel like they could be taking place in somewhat similar time periods.
See, I got, like, a Pacific Rim kind of vibe.
Okay.
City-wise.
Sure.
And have you seen the anime?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
I haven't seen it since...
Yeah, it's been a while, too.
Like, I was maybe in my early 20s last time I watched it, but it was a big movie for me, like, in my teenage years.
Yeah, cause
Like,
I was kind of impressed by how close they got things in a live-action version.
Yeah, there were definitely a few moments that I noted that felt very true. I mean, I think for the most part, a lot of the trailer it was just flashes and blurs of, you know, random scenes,
Yeah.
like what looked like I don't recall, like when the trailer opens with this kind of geisha-looking robot
Mm-hmm.
woman walking through this, you know, hallway into looks like a dinner party
Yeah.
or some kind of, you know, I don't remember that from the original, so I don't know if this is a new scene or if it's adapted from the original. But if
Yeah, because they sort of scurry off four-legged at one point.
yeah, that was great.
Which was really awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
But I get worried with movies like this.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen Aeon Flux.
Sure. Yeah, that was.
So.
I love that show, but.
Yeah.
You know, again, as a kid, I mean, as a teenager, you know, shows like Aeon Flux and Ghost in the Shell, I mean, that was prime viewing for a adolescent.
Yeah, it was, there was one part with, what's her face? Like that.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. Where she comes out of invisibility.
Yes.
And I don't think my brain could handle it.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, that looks too weird.
Sure.
And it doesn't help that her body's probably got some computer graphic thing going on.
Well, it's definitely, yeah.
A la Green Lantern.
Yeah, but it seems to work in this so much better. She looks believably like she has digital skin, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they pull off the effect, and it's been Green Lantern was, 2011? So they've had 5 years to work on that kind of technology, I guess.
It looked cool when they had her opened up and...
Yeah, so. Having the different, like, pieces taken off. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I think for me at least, the biggest moments that felt like literal adaptations of the original would be that opening kind of moment where you see her doing the descent from the top of the tower. That's like right out of the animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight in the water, like we were talking about with part of the invisibility, and then just having her in what I kind of refer to as the birthing chamber, where she's being built for the first time, and like her skin just, like the fake skin that they have on her, just like shatters off of her. Like that looked beautiful. Looked, really, really good rendition of the original anime. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's got a lot to live up to.
As far as like the trailer goes and the action and if you want to call it the story of the trailer that we get, it felt like a sexier version of The Matrix. Just with the guns and like kind of punk, I don't know, club scenes that looked like they were in and out of, and just the quick action.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I thought the trailer as a whole was pretty good because it told you,
Yeah.
Gave you we saved your life, no, they stole your life.
Yeah.
So you already got the conflict.
I'm really looking forward to the end battle from the animation. Like, that in live action should, hopefully holds up. And
yeah, it's an audacious task ahead of them.
Yeah. For sure. I like her partner. I forget.
Oh, yeah.
Because her name is Major. I forget what her partner's name is, but the guy with the weird eyes, that looked really cool. I was kind of wondering how they were gonna translate that.
Pretty damn close to the.
Yeah. So
a lot of the characters kind of actually look like who they're supposed to look like. It was weird.
Yeah. I vaguely remember an old man. Yeah.
That's the other person I was thinking of.
As far as beyond that, I have no memory of basically anyone else. So kind of my big takeaway from watching this trailer is I'm really excited to go back and watch the original animation.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be doing that pretty soon. Oh, I was going to say, with casting Scarlett Johansson, I know there was some controversy there, and they made a choice to go with an American, white actress instead of going with a Japanese actress, but I'm not going to get too much into that. I mean, I like Scarlett Johansson, but I watched, did you ever watch Under the Skin with her?
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay. It came out a few years ago. It was kind of I guess more of an independent movie. Very odd, very surreal. And then she did that Lucy, I think in the same year, which was just another sci-fi, and it was it was kind of decent. So I don't know. I'm just
well, I think they just picked her to cash in on the Avenger fame.
Right. Yeah, I worry a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Is she the right person for this movie? I don't know, but
I could have seen
I like her.
That actress that was in Pacific Rim.
That's who that was, I think, the internet's kind of pick. Yeah, I remember seeing, they showed a promotional image for, the first promo image of her as Major, and people would actually replace Scarlett Johansson's face with the girl from Pacific Rim. So
yeah, because I mean, she had the physical skills and
sure.
I don't know. She had that. At least in that movie, her character had that pretty similar kind of. I don't know, not backstory, but attitude.
Sure.
And Scarlett Johansson, it threw me off when I saw her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, what's Black Widow doing here?
Yeah.
I mean, the look of the city is what I think drew my attention more than anything.
Oh, okay.
The weird, gigantic figures sitting in the city kind of thing.
The big projector, holographic,
whoa,
advertising, I guess.
Yeah. It kept bringing my attention. I couldn't stop looking at it.
Okay. I noticed it, but it didn't. I guess it wasn't more of a passing, okay, that's just a big digital billboard,
Yeah. I just thought it was cool looking.
Yeah. So yeah, my big takeaway from this is definitely I want to go revisit the original, and then, I probably won't, rush out to the theater to see this.
Yeah.
As much as I enjoyed Ghost in the Shell, growing up, it's not a movie I've been waiting for them to make, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat with Akira. You know,
Mhm.
it's great, but I'm not in a huge rush to see a live action version. So
Yeah, I think it would be one that you may wait a week, see how it does,
yeah,
make up your mind.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it looked cool. It scares me when they do really super sci-fi
sure,
/ animation into live action. So we've all seen Dragon Ball Z or whatever that's.
yeah. I didn't never watched the show and never saw the movie, but I think I remember hearing that it got pretty much.
Last Airbender.
Yeah.
That's another one that just plummeted.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it was M. Night Shyamalan.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you got it pretty much right.
Yeah. I'm so used to saying Slamadama Ding Dong that I don't know what his real name is anymore. Okay. So yeah, that's a maybe.
Yeah. For me, it's just I'll get to it eventually. Like I might.
I'll definitely run it.
Yeah. That's where I am. So.
Okay, so you want to hit up the last of the trailers?
Let's do it.
Alright. Kong Skull Island.
These are photos of an island in the South Pacific.
The place where myth and science meet.
We use explosives to shake the earth, helping us to map the surface of the island.
You're dropping bombs. Scientific instruments.
Is that a monkey?
This is probably the most surprising trailer I've ever seen in my life.
Really? How so?
The tone is not at all what I was expecting.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it opens up with, like, Vietnam era music.
Yeah, I noted the Bad Moon Rising with, it's, for me, it's like, I don't know, ever since the Guardians trailer, ever since, they did such an amazing job with the music in their trailers and their movie, it just feels like everyone's trying to capture that. Anytime that popular music or popular 70s music is used in a trailer now, it just feels like they're trying to do the same thing. And I know that that's not the case. I know they've been using music in trailers, for decades. But it just feels more obvious now for some reason.
It makes me think of Forrest Gump.
Okay, sure.
Because
of the same song.
Well, they were just heavy on the music for Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's one of the better selling soundtracks, probably.
Yeah.
But
it definitely helps convey the the information that it's set in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because you can tell
with that in it.
It's dated movie.
Sorry.
Like you got the overhead projector.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
The older helicopters.
Yeah.
And even the gun that dude was firing at the insectoid-looking monster.
Yeah.
But I thought this was going to be like another Jack Black King Kong movie.
Okay.
Like where it's old-timey 1920s.
Gotcha. Like we're gonna go on an adventure to capture this beast for.
Yeah, and then I saw how huge King Kong was.
Sure.
First of all, he could, palm 2 giant helicopters.
Right.
And then the other monsters.
Yeah.
And the most jarring was probably dude with 3 names that I'm blanking on.
Yeah, John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Yep. I was not expecting him to pop up.
Yeah, that's why I was confused by the tone of the movie. I was like, is it a comedy or like?
Yeah,
just heavy on him.
Right. He took me right out of this trailer. Like, and I like him. He's great in, as a serious actor, like in Magnolia. He's great as a comedy actor, Step Brothers or whatever. But watching this trailer, and I was really like, you know, not excited, but more interested in the fact that they have Tom Hiddleston, you know, who we've seen as Loki for all these movies, and Brie Larson, who gave like the best performance in like of any movie I saw last year, the Room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have those two actors. I think he says one or two lines, and she doesn't have a single line in the trailer. It's like they get a lot of reaction shots from both of them, but to have basically the last half of the entire trailer just a bunch of John C. Reilly, like, as the displaced, crazy guy that's been living on the island for maybe a couple decades, like,
yeah,
just one line after the next, that I get the impression like these are the jokes in the movie, you know. So that I was a little not disappointed, because I didn't go into this trailer like with any expectations, I guess, but just really surprised me.
Yeah, and I'm kind of interested into, like, I don't know what the mission is, because he says, John Goodman says, you know, we need to bring back Proof, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they going to really try to bring back Kong like in the
sure.
old version? Or are they just looking for, you know, like a...
Yeah, there's a lot of layers here that I'm not quite certain of either. Because, yeah, you have John Goodman, who kind of looks like he's in the, what was his name? Denby? I think in the original story, he was the guy, I think, that Denholm. I don't know. Jack Black's character from the Peter Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So you have him, and he's like kind of in a khaki, you know, kind of that adventuring
safari
outfit. Then you've got Samuel L. Jackson, who I think they refer to as Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he has this staring match with Kong, so it's like it seems like they're going to be enemies, you know, or maybe Sam Jackson's going to be a bad guy some way. You know, maybe the reason he's on the island is different from what everyone else thinks the mission is, or some like nefarious, you know. Like, I get the feeling that he's going to end up being part of your villain, you know, aspect of the movie.
That's part of my problem, is that, like, there's all these other monsters too.
Yeah. So yeah, I was not expecting
There's just so much going on.
I know. So I'm kind of into the idea of, okay, there's monsters on this island to fight. But then once I got to look at the monsters, it's like, oh, okay, they're doing Cloverfield monsters again. Like, that seems to be kind of the popular, you know, strange alien-looking creatures that walk around kind of on their, like, disjointed elbows or whatever.
Bone crawlers or skeleton crawlers.
Yeah.
There's also like a weird water ox-looking thing.
Yeah, just a big... Yeah.
It's like maybe a benevolent entity of some sort.
Right. And I'm cool with that, because I think, I mean, just based on the original King Kong, they go to Skull Island and there are dinosaurs and there are big, you know, other big animals. So I'm fine with that. The Peter Jackson version, he fought dinosaurs and big, huge bugs, you know. So I'm okay with the idea that there are, like, big animals, you know.
I think the confusing part is that it sounds like this movie's going to be about Kong versus the skeleton crawlers.
Yeah, all these monsters, yeah.
So Kong's king of the island, but below is the devil or something.
Right, yeah. So my takeaway was kind of like, it just kind of felt like the Godzilla movie from a couple years ago. Like, we're just going to let them fight, you know, let Kong fight the monsters since no one else can. So, and I know that those two movies, the Godzilla from a couple years ago and this, are in the same, you know, because everyone needs like an Avengers universe now where all the movies are connected. So this is building towards a King Kong versus Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So they are technically in the same like universe or whatever, but
just way in the past.
Yeah, I guess this would just be, you know, what, 40 years
Kong,
prior or
King
whatever.
Kong's gonna be an old man by the time.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it'll be Son of Kong or whatever. But
Kong Jr., like Diddy Kong.
Yeah. I did think that the trailer itself had some really decent visuals. Just some of the cool like aerial shots and the helicopter visuals, like against the kind of the iconic shot of the helicopters against the sunset. Like feels very like Apocalypse Now, and it does help get that 70s Vietnam era vibe across, and that works pretty well. Thought Kong looked pretty good. I think Peter Jackson's Kong might look a little bit better.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if I liked it or not.
Yeah.
And they show some weird sounds, like they moved the beat of the drum to his chest beating.
Yeah, that didn't seem right, yeah.
So, it was weird choices all around for this trailer and how it was built.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it seems like a movie you should see in an IMAX, but
yeah, probably
really worth the cost of that.
Right. I think I would have preferred a trailer that had less of the John C. Reilly character.
Yeah.
Maybe save him for your TV spots, that are the 30-second little TV spots that come out like the 2 weeks before the movie to catch just the general audience. And I would have preferred more, I don't know, just less of that. But
yeah, less slapstick.
Yeah. More Brie Larson, more Tom Hiddleston, So, but it's definitely a movie. It feels jam-packed.
Yeah.
With Sam Jackson, John Goodman, who I'm guessing is probably not going to be in the movie very long, just based on how little of him we actually get in the trailer.
Yeah, I assume he's going to try to flip a circuit breaker and all you're going to find is his arm.
Oh, Sam Jackson.
Yeah, very Jurassic Park ending for him.
Yeah. See, I'm betting he's going to be end up being the main bad guy of the movie. Because I bet he's got some, plan or ulterior motive to be on that island. So I don't know. That's just my, just based on this trailer.
I'd say Goodman's the a-hole, because he doesn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm betting he's, like I said, I don't think Goodman's going to be in the movie very long. I'm betting he's going to get killed somewhere in the first, at the end of the first act or something. Kind of like the Bryan Cranston role in the Godzilla movie. So, spoilers. So, yeah.
Alright, well, I honestly doubt I'll see this in the theater.
Yeah. Unless there's another trailer that blows me away. But yeah, I just kind of, I'm, lukewarm on this one. I guess out of the three, the one I'm looking forward to the most would be Ghost in the Shell. But even with that one, I'm more excited to go back and rewatch the original just based on, because the trailer looked pretty good. So
I should state that it takes a lot for me to go to a movie.
Sure.
Because it means like having somebody watch the kid.
Sure.
Or just going by myself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether I go to it or not is basically, is it going to be awesome and am I looking forward to it?
Right.
Then I'll go to the theater. But if it's just got potential or wishy-washy, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe the college me would have gone.
Right.
Movies, but
for me anymore, it's pretty much the comic book movies that get me out to the theater. I'm sure we'll go see. I don't know if we'll go see. I'd like to get out and go see Logan. I know for a fact we'll go see Guardians of the Galaxy, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Thor. Those, and then of course Justice League and Episode 8. So most of the movies that are coming out this year we'll see, but I'll probably end up waiting on Lego Batman and Alien Covenant and, the next Planet of the Apes, some of the other ones, but...
Yeah, Lego Batman feels like it should be a straight to, on demand.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's an odd theatrical release.
It is. But people love that, and I love that Lego movie, it was great.
Yeah, it was a good movie,
but I mean,
I don't know if I could
even saying that,
Batman the whole time.
What's that?
I don't think I could handle the Batman the whole time.
That's kind of how I felt about it. Like, I enjoyed the Batman parts enough, but I think, I don't know, less is more again with that one, I think. But we'll see.
I think I'd rather see the backstory of that crazy cat unicorn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Weirdo Island.
Yeah. That was good.
But yeah, so those are the 3 trailers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing real wow. Gotta go see it, but
yeah.
Hopefully.
And again, we picked the movies that I mean, we could have talked about Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I know it's an excellent looking trailer. I love the way that one's coming together. So,
I think I'm rooting for Ghost in the Shell just because I want anime properties to get a live action treatment.
Yeah,
because I have a feeling that's the next group to like comic books is now.
Right.
So, like in anime or manga. Manga, however you want to say it.
Sure.
Might be what's coming up down the pipe.
That could be, yeah.
It's just, some of that stuff's just so crazy that it's hard to watch live action.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. So, yeah.
I just watched Spirited Away
last
weekend.
Nice.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that movie. And there's another one by that guy. It's like,
there's a bunch.
Something Howling Castle or something like that.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle. There's that one. I think there's My Neighbor Totoro. Bunch of other ones that I haven't watched either. But
what's is his name Miyamoto?
Miyazaki.
Okay. Yeah. I gotta watch his other stuff still. But
yeah, me too.
Spirited Away was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It oddly made me think of James and the Giant Peach.
Okay. Yeah. I got more of almost an Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe from it.
Yeah.
And it's a trippy movie.
Oh yeah.
But
the music's awesome and the animation's pretty stellar.
Oh yeah. I really I've seen the No-Face character just from, pictures from Comic-Cons or being at Comic-Cons or just in pop culture, just seeing that mask, So I was I knew that was a part of this movie, but I didn't know what capacity the character had in it. So I really liked No-Face. Kind of the arc that character goes on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So next up, reviews.
Yeah, we a while ago we did our Superman 2 movie, and Patrick and I did not love it.
We basically took a big dump on it.
Kinda. I mean, and I still stand by our review. I was really let down by Superman 2. Just flat out, it's a movie that I always thought was one of the best, and then just for me, it just did not hold up. So that was a big, come to grips kind of, or come to terms, moment for me to, while watching that movie was like, oh, I'm not having fun with this. So that was strange. So.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just the premise of him giving up his powers, and it ended up not being that big a deal.
Right. There were no consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, there were.
Oh, yeah, he got a bloody nose and screwed up for a couple hours.
Well, and the world kind of had to pay the price of him just throwing away his responsibilities. Yeah. But I guess
I got that.
I don't want to get wrapped. Yeah. I definitely don't want to get wrapped up in like rehashing our review of Superman 2 because we've gone through it already. But I guess we started talking about that because our friend of the show, Rory, sent in his feedback to kind of our review, and it's just because of the holiday schedule, we're just kind of now getting to sharing that feedback on the show. So I will just go ahead and read Rory's thoughts. So he says, although I do agree with some of your points regarding Superman 2, I do think it is a highly enjoyable movie. The story isn't perfect, the humor feels dated, and the product placement is ridiculous. But what makes this movie is the characters. Expanding on the two characters he played in Part 1, Christopher Reeves plays three completely different characters. Clark Kent, the bumbling reporter he uses to disguise himself, Superman, the perfect hero, and the real man behind them both, when he reveals his true identity to Lois. The two villains of the piece work wonderfully together. Zod is an uncompromising powerhouse who will not be reasoned with, while Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor is a sly, intelligent crook who will latch on to whoever is giving him the best deal. But for me, Lois Lane is the true star of the movie. As a fan of Superman comics, Margot Kidder has always captured the character perfectly in my eyes. She's not perfect, she constantly risks her life for almost no reason, and she smokes like a chimney. While talking about the benefits of oranges.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, but she's not a typical damsel in distress. She's a skilled journalist who proves herself capable on several occasions, and like the movie itself, she is flawed but charming. So that's from Rory from Hangover Reviews.
Well, he was obviously hungover. Well, yeah, I mean, I just don't like Lois. Like,
yeah, I think I know we had some problems with her, and I think more Margot Kidder. The character of Lois is fine. Like, I've never had a big problem with the character of Lois, but I'm not a fan of Margot Kidder all that much. So
it sort of depends who's playing Lois.
Sure.
Whether or not
she's one of those that for me has never really been. I mean, is it Amy Adams?
Yeah.
No. Is that who's playing her now? So. Amy Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's okay. Like, she doesn't do much for me. Kate Bosworth, played Lois in the Superman Returns, and she was okay.
I like the little lady in Superman Mole Man.
Oh, she was great. Yeah. I've always liked the vocal performance of Dana Delaney in the animated Superman from like the 2000s. Sure. She always felt more, the perfect Lois Lane spirit and attitude and voice, and kind of the same way a lot of people feel Kevin Conroy is Batman. He is the best portrayal of Batman from the animated series. That's kind of how I feel about her as Lois Lane. So
yeah, and it's kind of hard because Lois, when it comes down to it, is there to sort of get into trouble for Superman to go and rescue. So she is that damsel in distress, but it's just how they go about, I guess, treating her after that small part.
Yeah. Because even like at the beginning of Superman 2, she put herself into danger. She was getting the story. She was doing all that on her own. Like that's good for her.
Yeah, but she was being
basically
ridiculous about it. Like,
well, yeah,
she just put herself in way too much danger.
Sure.
Like to the point where I question her sanity.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a nuke up there. I'm gonna hang from this elevator. No biggie.
But for me, it was like at that point then in the movie, like that was basically her she had no more character arc throughout the rest of the movie other than to be the reason that Superman gave up his powers and,
Yeah.
But like I said, we've gone on about that movie, quite a bit. So what else?
Yeah, I can get what Rory's talking about with, the three different,
yeah.
I guess Clark and Superman.
Right.
And
yeah, no, I think he does a great job of playing completely different characters. Throughout the movie. So
Zod.
Yeah.
But the Lex will always be fun.
Yeah, I really enjoy Lex. I enjoyed him a lot more in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because the second one was so much of it was a different actor that they were, shooting from behind or shooting from like long, wide shots away. So, and a lot of it was a guy doing an impression of Gene Hackman because, he didn't come back for the sequel. So like a lot of that was more evident to me when we watched it this time around. So part of that, my love for Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor was kind of sullied a little bit in this one. So, but,
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, to Rory, thank you so much for sending some feedback. I think I definitely get, like, the points that he's making, and I know it was, I know he didn't agree with, how we felt about the movie, but,
Yeah, but he, mentioned that he knows it's not a perfect movie.
Sure, yeah.
Which,
so, yeah.
No duh.
So thanks to Rory for sending that awesome feedback. So,
although the super breath roller skating guy will always hold up.
Right. Yeah.
And all the little gags they had along.
The pie in the face, the phone booth.
Toothpaste.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, sorry. Now everyone's bummed out. But yeah, thanks to Rory for giving us his sort of view on it.
So, I recently learned that when you're in iTunes and you're wanting to look at iTunes reviews or feedback, if you change the country that you're in, so like at the bottom of your iTunes page, there's like a little American flag.
Uh-huh.
If you click that and then go to, it pulls up another page of like different countries. And I found out if we go to the UK flag, we can see the reviews that people outside the country have left. So we just want to acknowledge, some of the people that have given us some iTunes reviews, and for a long time I didn't know they were there because I didn't know that to see them I needed to go to a different country. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I want to read this real quick. This is from Dan the Beagle. He gave us 5 stars, says great movie podcast, awesome format, an awesome movie podcast. The hosts are great and knowledgeable, and the movies they review and the format of the podcast is great. They also get great guests. Travis and Patrick are now a staple of my podcast subscriptions and have me watching movies I missed out on just to follow along with the show. So that's awesome to hear. I love the idea that people are seeking out these movies so that they can kind of join us or follow along with us. So that's great to hear.
You're literally doing the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching these for the first time.
Right, you're just a couple steps behind Patrick.
So when he says knowledgeable, he must be talking about you. So I'm going in blind as a bat.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Who knew we're internationally famous?
Yeah. Let's see. We also had Another 5-star from Carl Eggett. It says, fun, fun, fun. It says, awesome podcast and easy to listen to. So that was from March. So that was still kind of in our, not our early days, but...
Yeah, I was kind of wondering when that other comment was, too, because our format has changed.
Yeah.
Since we've started.
It was more recent.
Okay.
The one from Dan was from November.
Gotcha.
And then, lastly, we have one from Gaz Eastwood, who I know is one of the hosts from the Open All Powers podcast, which itself is a great podcast to listen to. So, Gaz says, real awesome podcast, quality pod that you need on your subscription, always entertaining and a pleasure to listen to. So, nice and succinct little 5-star review from Gaz, and yeah, so we just wanted to say thanks to the people that have left feedback and given us reviews, and we definitely want more of that. So, we encourage anyone that's listening, just take a minute out of your day and hit us up on iTunes and throw a review at us. And
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to get my mom so she can put a comment on there.
Sure. Yeah, and I neglected to read the review that was left by some drunken sounding Irishman.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember when I wrote it. It's so long ago.
It says something like, "Oh, the hosts are great," or I forget what. I think the subject is like, "Totally not one of the hosts." Something I don't remember, but.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So
I was probably complimenting myself.
Right. I think it even says something like booze may have been involved in writing of this review. Or
well, at least I was honest.
Yeah.
Well, except for the whole title thing, I guess. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought, get us started.
Right. Yeah, just gotta pepper in some,
Sometimes people don't want to be the first one on there.
Sure.
I was a trailblazer. Pioneer.
Well, thank you, Patrick.
And I didn't even get dysentery. I'm surprised that's not a movie yet, Oregon Trail.
I saw it's a board game.
Really?
Like in the adult party, like game night party game section of Target, they have a Oregon Trail. And like the box cover art is that classic image of the Oregon Trail, and it says, "You've died from dysentery," or something like that.
Yeah, it was always fun putting people in and hoping they'd get some horrible illness and die.
Right. Kanye West has died of dysentery.
How dare you? He's
I know.
mental issues. Very fragile.
Yeah.
And he gave me the song Gold Digger.
And he can have it back.
What? It's a very informative song, I'll have you know.
Oh, okay.
As a very wealthy man myself.
Right.
It's good to know that those people were out there.
Sure.
Well, I think we've officially run out of things to talk about if we're talking about Kanye.
I think so. making random threats at Kanye West is probably where we need to end it. So.
Yeah. So this year should be interesting. A lot of stuff's coming out for those watching up-to-date movies, and for our podcast itself, we're going to be knee-deep in the 80s, so that should be a ball. Yeah,
so let's see. The next one for us to release is going to be Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And then, let's see, after that, the next one you and I are recording is Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to shave and oil my chest for it.
Good. I'll prepare my best Khan yelling voice. Let's see. After that, we've got Blade Runner, and then after that, we're hitting John Carpenter's The Thing. So, should be a nice little string of movies.
And I have seen one of those.
Which one?
The Thing.
The Thing? Okay.
Yep. Not too long ago either. Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's probably about when I watched it.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that again. I really.
Yeah. I really enjoyed The Thing. So.
But now I'm gonna judge it and
Right,
look at it and not enjoy it.
I feel like it'll hold up.
Okay, well then, I guess, to a new year.
Yeah.
Celebrities, try to stay healthy, would you?
Yeah. We're counting on you.
Yeah, I wonder if we should do, like, Are They Still Alive on some of these movies?
Ooh. I don't know.
It probably would have been easier back in the 70s than 80s, but you never know.
Because I'm thinking with Wrath of Khan, like, I don't want to start poking that bear of, like, you know, we've got Shatner still, we've got Nichelle Nichols, Walter Koenig.
And Decay.
Yeah, of course.
But Spock, live long and prosper.
I know, yeah.
Didn't Scotty go?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, maybe not that long ago. I know they just recently, like, within a couple years, sent his ashes into space a couple years ago. And,
nice.
yeah. Some of his ashes, I guess.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but...
Okay. Well,
yeah.
That's enough death talk.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have good 2017.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to get into like the real nitty gritty of sci-fi, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah. We're definitely hitting that sweet spot in the 80s, you know, middle 80s.
Yeah, so definitely check out our list and...
Oh yeah. And we should be having quite a few guests coming up soon, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, you won't just have to listen to us too.
Yeah.
And maybe if Rory's up to it, there's a special gem of a movie out there some of you may have heard of called Spaceballs. And you know, it is one of the great movies of all time. So it's a bit intimidating, I understand, if Rory doesn't want to jump on board to, you know, critique such a masterpiece.
Right.
I mean, it gives you such memorable characters as Pizza the Hut, Yogurt.
God damn it.
I mean, Barf.
Yeah.
I mean, really classy
Sure.
characters with very, very in-depth plots and backstories. I mean, it's a whole universe, really.
Are you done?
Where are they going to get the air from for Planet Spaceball? The whole point of the movie.
Oh, is that? Oh, I think I never realized that.
It's very tragic.
Yeah.
Gets the stiff air out of Perrier cans.
Okay.
Yes.
You say so, buddy.
God, I'm going to school you so bad on this.
So yeah, Rory, if you're up for it, Patrick has issued I guess he's throwing the gauntlet down if you want to be our guest for Spaceballs.
I've already made him watch it once. What's one more that hurt? It's more of a, you know what? He should look forward to watching it again.
Yeah.
Now, and maybe watch it not hungover.
Okay.
So maybe that'll improve the way he looks at this movie.
I've never seen it hungover either, and I think it's crap.
Or it could get so much worse.
Maybe that's what I should do. Get really drunk to watch it this time.
He'll probably hate it more sober.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's something to look out for this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to this year.
Yeah. Our listeners should definitely go and check out Rory's Spaceballs review that was sent in by Patrick. Or requested by Patrick.
And that was legit, man.
Yeah.
I really like having that on the background. And he just tore a big gaping butthole into it. That really hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically
just
shat on my childhood.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old at a sleepover when I first heard Rick Moranis say, "I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes." And that was the funniest thing I had ever heard in my 8 years on this planet.
Right.
So, thanks a lot, Rory.
Yeah.
Now I can't watch it without hearing your criticism in the background. You'll pay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take something you love, freak it. I don't know.
All right. Are you going to be okay?
I'll get over it.
All right. Well, I guess we should
Should
wrap it up.
Really start crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yep.
All
right. Okay, I'm good now.
All right.
Yep. So yeah, we'll be back with regular episodes.
Yep. Road Warrior.
Road Warrior. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah. I totally did not forget to bring my notes for that recording, so.
I forgot about that. Nice.
Yeah. I felt like an idiot. So that'll be an interesting one to edit. So.
Yeah, basically I'm going to sound really intelligent.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey Travis, remember this?
No.
So yeah, we'll be back with Road Warrior. Stay tuned, keep listening, and we'll see you later.
Sounds good.
And cut.
All right.